It's like a dream. A wonderful dream come true.
Yes, my child.
What do the Little Mermaid, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and Pocahontas all have in common? They all have dark and surprising origins.
That's no mask.
It's his face. He's hideous.
In this video, we'll dive into the original tales behind these iconic Disney movies and uncover some twisted and unexpected truths. Stick around to discover the shocking realities behind these beloved stories. You won't believe how different they are from the Disney versions you know and love. Let's get into it. But first, hit that subscribe button.
From this day forward, if there is to be more killing, it will not start with me.
Number 1. The Little Mermaid.
I don't see how a world that makes such wonderful things.
Disney's The Little Mermaid is a delightful story about Ariel, a young mermaid who dreams of living on land and falling in love with a human prince. But did you know that Hans Christian Andersen's original tale is more of a nightmare than a fairy tale? In Andersen's 1837 version, the Little Mermaid lives in an underwater kingdom with her father, the Sea King, and her 5 older sisters. When she turns 15, she's allowed to swim to the surface and see the human world. There, she falls in love with a handsome prince. Desperate to be with him, she makes a dangerous deal with the Sea Witch. She trades her beautiful voice for a pair of legs. But there's a catch. If she doesn't win the prince's love, she will die and turn into sea foam.
You will dissolve into foam on the ocean waves.
The Little Mermaid goes through a lot of pain to walk on her new legs, but she endures it for a chance to be with the prince. Unfortunately, things don't go as planned. The prince marries another woman, believing she is the one who saved him from drowning. Heartbroken, the Little Mermaid faces a terrible choice given by the Sea Witch: kill the prince and become a mermaid again, or die.
You must do it now, little sis. It's you or him. Hurry!
Unable to harm the one she loves, she chooses to die and dissolves into sea foam. However, because of her selfless act, she is given a chance to earn an eternal soul through good deeds. Disney's 1989 version, however, turns this tragedy into a triumph. Ariel trades her voice for legs, battles the Sea Witch Ursula, and wins Prince Eric's heart. No foam, just happily ever after. Disney swapped out the unrequited love and sacrifice for catchy tunes and colorful animation, creating a timeless classic far removed from the original's sorrowful end.
Ariel? Ariel? Oh, that's kind of pretty.
Number 2. Cinderella.
It's midnight.
Yes, so it is, but why?
Goodbye.
No, wait.
This is the ultimate Disney tale filled with magic, transformation, and happily ever after. But did you know the original versions are much darker and more intense? Cinderella's story dates back to ancient Greece, but the most famous versions are by Charles Perrault, 1697, and the Brothers Grimm, 1812. In Charles Perrault's version, Cinderella is a kind and gentle girl who is mistreated by her wicked stepmother and stepsisters. She is forced to do all the housework and is given ragged clothes to wear. When the king announces a royal ball, Cinderella's stepsisters go to the ball in beautiful dresses, while Cinderella is left behind. But then, her fairy godmother appears and with a wave of her magic wand, transforms Cinderella's rags into a stunning gown, complete with glass slippers. Cinderella goes to the ball, captures the prince's heart, but must leave before midnight when the magic wears off. She rushes out, leaving behind one of her glass slippers. The prince searches the kingdom for the girl whose foot fits the slipper, finds Cinderella, and they live happily ever after. The Brothers Grimm version, however, is much more sinister. In their tale, called Aschenputtel, the stepsisters are not only cruel, but also desperate to fit the glass slipper to marry the prince. They go to extreme length, even cutting off parts of their feet to make the slipper fit. However, their deception is revealed when birds peck out their eyes as punishment for their evil deeds. Cinderella, who remains pure and kind-hearted, marries the prince and finds her happy ending, while her wicked stepsisters suffer a gruesome fate. Disney's 1950 adaptation softens these dark elements. Cinderella's stepsisters are mean, but don't mutilate themselves. Her fairy godmother's magic transforms pumpkins and rags, leading to a charming ball where Cinderella wins Prince Charming's heart.
I haven't met the prince.
The prince? But didn't you know that...
Goodbye.
No blood, just a love story with a glass slipper and a happy ending. By turning these grim tales into a heartwarming movie, Disney created a timeless classic. Cinderella celebrates the power of kindness and dreams with charming characters, beautiful animation, and unforgettable music. It's a story of hope and magic, far removed from its dark and twisted origins.
Oh, no. No, please. Oh, you can't do this. You just can't.
Number 3. Sleeping Beauty. Disney's Sleeping Beauty is a fairy tale classic where true love's kiss breaks an evil spell. But did you know the original version, Sun, Moon, and Talia, is far darker and more twisted? In Giambattista Basile's 1634 tale, Talia pricks her finger on flax and falls into a deep sleep. Her father, devastated, lays her in a grand palace and leaves, thinking she's dead. Years pass, and a king hunting in the forest finds the palace. He enters and sees the beautiful Talia still asleep. Overcome by her beauty, he does something far from heroic. He takes advantage of her while she is still unconscious. Talia, still in her deep sleep, becomes pregnant and later gives birth to twins, a boy and a girl. One of the babies sucks the piece of flax from her finger and she awakens. When Talia wakes up, she finds herself a mother with no memory of what happened. The king, who is already married, returns to see Talia and the twins, whom she names Sun and Moon. The king's wife becomes jealous and plots to kill Talia and the children. However, the plan is foiled, and the king punishes his wife, eventually marrying Talia and living happily with their children. Disney's 1959 adaptation sanitizes this dark tale. In this version, Princess Aurora is cursed by the evil fairy Maleficent to prick her finger on a spinning wheel and fall into a deep sleep, only to be awakened by true love's kiss.
And from this slumber you shall wake, when true love's kiss the spell shall break.
Aurora is hidden away and raised by 3 good fairies to protect her from the curse. On her 16th birthday, Aurora meets Prince Philip, and they fall in love. However, before they can be together, Maleficent tricks Aurora into pricking her finger, causing her to fall into a deep sleep.
Touch the spindle. Touch it, I say.
The good fairies place her in a castle, where Prince Philip battles Maleficent, who transforms into a fearsome dragon. With the help of the fairies, Philip defeats Maleficent and awakens Aurora with a kiss. They live happily ever after. By transforming Basile's unsettling tale into an enchanting movie, Disney created a beloved classic filled with beautiful animation, memorable characters, and enchanting music. It's a timeless fairy tale, celebrating love and bravery, minus the original's dark twists. Number 4. The Hunchback of Notre Dame. This Disney classic dazzles with stunning visuals and memorable characters, but Victor Hugo's original novel is a far darker and more tragic tale. Hugo's 1831 novel, set in medieval Paris, delves into themes of social injustice, unrequited love, and harsh realities. At the heart of the story is Quasimodo, the hunchbacked bell ringer of Notre Dame. Quasimodo is abandoned as a baby and raised by Claude Frollo, the archdeacon of the cathedral.
Good morning, Quasimodo.
Oh, good morning, Master.
Quasimodo grows up isolated and shunned by society because of his deformities. Despite his appearance, he has a kind heart and longs for acceptance. The story takes a dark turn with the introduction of Esmeralda, a beautiful and compassionate gypsy girl. Esmeralda captures the heart of several characters, including Quasimodo, Frollo, and a handsome soldier named Phoebus. Frollo, who is tormented by his forbidden desire for Esmeralda, becomes obsessed with her and spirals into madness. Esmeralda is falsely accused of a crime and sentenced to death. Quasimodo tries to save her, showing his deep love and loyalty. Unfortunately, his efforts are in vain. Esmeralda is executed, and Quasimodo is heartbroken. In the end, Quasimodo finds her body and stays by her side until he dies of grief. Disney's 1996 adaptation retains some of the dark themes but adds humor, music, and a more hopeful ending.
That's no mask.
It's his face. He's hideous.
Quasimodo, still the kind-hearted bell ringer, is kept isolated by the villainous Judge Frollo. His life changes when he meets Esmeralda at the Festival of Fools. She sees beyond his appearance, befriending him. The Disney film softens the harshness, addressing acceptance and prejudice in a child-friendly way. Quasimodo's gargoyle pals add humor, and Alan Menken's uplifting music enhances the story. Unlike the novel, Disney's Quasimodo is embraced by Paris, finding friendship and belonging. Disney's Hunchback transforms Hugo's dark tale into an inspiring adventure, celebrating compassion and understanding. It's a visually beautiful film that turns tragedy into triumph, perfect for audiences of all ages.
Quasimodo?
No, you listen! All my life you have told me that the world is a dark, cruel place.
Number 5. Pocahontas. Disney's Pocahontas is a beautifully animated film about a Native American woman who bridges the gap between two cultures.
Pocahontas, come with me. You are the daughter of the chief.
But the real story of Pocahontas is far darker and more complex. Pocahontas was a real historical figure, born around 1596, and was the daughter of Powhatan, the chief of a network of tribal nations in what is now Virginia. Her real name was Amunte, and she had a more private name, Matoaka. Pocahontas was a nickname, meaning playful one or ill-behaved child. In 1607, English settlers arrived in Jamestown, Virginia, led by Captain John Smith. The story of Pocahontas saving Smith from execution by her father is well known, but historians debate the accuracy. Smith himself wrote about it years later, and some believed he might have exaggerated or misinterpreted the events. Pocahontas did play a significant role in the early days of the Jamestown colony. She often visited the settlement, bringing food, and helping to establish a shaky peace between the English and her people. Her interactions with John Smith were likely more diplomatic and less romantic than portrayed in popular culture. In 1613, Pocahontas was captured by the English and held for ransom. During her captivity, she converted to Christianity, was baptized as Rebecca, and married an Englishman named John Rolfe. This marriage was politically significant, helping to establish a period of peace between the settlers and the Native Americans. Pocahontas traveled to England with Rolfe in 1616, where she was presented to English society as an example of a civilized savage to encourage investment in the Jamestown settlement. Unfortunately, Pocahontas fell ill and died in March 1617, at about 21 years of age. Disney's 1995 film turns her story into a romantic and idolized adventure. In the movie, Pocahontas is a wise, free-spirited young woman who forms a deep bond with John Smith.
My name is Pocahontas.
I'm John Smith.
Together, they work to prevent conflict between the settlers and her people, with themes of harmony and respect between cultures. The film's memorable songs, like Colors of the Wind, emphasize the beauty of nature and living in harmony with the environment.
Can you paint with all the colors of the wind?
However, the real Pocahontas was a child during her interactions with Smith, and their relationship was not a love story. The film omits her capture, forced conversion, and early death, instead focusing on a message of peace and understanding. Disney's version of Pocahontas is inspiring and entertaining, but simplifies and romanticizes her true story. By recognizing the real history behind the character, we can appreciate both the enchanting tale told by Disney and the significant, complex life of the real Pocahontas.
Pocahontas talking isn't going to do any good. I already tried talking to my men.
And just like that, we've peeled back the layers on the real stories behind 5 famous Disney movies. Who knew these beloved films sprouted from such dark and twisted roots? It's fascinating how Disney transformed these grim tales into magical stories we adore today. If you found these revelations intriguing, drop a comment on which Disney movie you'd like us to uncover next. See you soon.
Oh, no, I can't. Goodbye.
But when will I see you again?
Oh, never.